Pow wow, yo, yippee, yay, guys. Pow number 37, and I'm super excited to be with you guys. Like always, we're going to dive into the love of the community and then talk about what's happening on SwissBorg Network. Almost saw what happened. Obviously, we're going to be revealing the community index. We're going to be talking about Thematics and a big announcement of the week, which is the listing of very cool blockchain about to begin. As you guys know, my name is Cyrus Fazel. I'm the proud founder and CEO of SwissBorg, always here to serve you in any moments, in any days, in good cycles and bad cycles, in sideways cycles, always here to serve you again. Question of the week, and thank you for Luca 096. Alex was pitching that a surprise was coming soon, boosting adoption, volume, and utility of CHSB. We're still waiting. Should we still expect something? So, chi va piano va sano va lontano, right? Who goes slowly makes it on the long run, right? Yeah, there's a lot of different things. And right now, internally, I asked the same question. I was like, what were you referring to? And there's a lot of great ideas that could come from the earn, that could come from the thematics, that could come from the payments. Because if you look what we have been able to do so far at SwissBorg, and you look at potentially like what is the future of being a cyberbank or investment platform of tomorrow, there's pretty much 7 layers. And the first layer is payments, how to get in, how to get out, and how to eventually do some payments within it. We worked really hard on bringing the best fiat gateways, but there's more to do with cards and debit cards and whatever. Paying elements to get into crypto. The second one is really buying and selling, and I think so today we're the only, Portugal Voyager went bankrupt. We're the only platform today that's offering best execution. And this is something very important, not only because it gives you best price, but as well as that is exactly the DNA of essentially SwissBorg. SwissBorg being a distributed marketplace and not just trading on Binance, not just trading on FTX, but looking really on the best orders books in the world to give you the best essentially prices, but as well to make sure that there's not only one counterparty that has all of these essentially information that could trade eventually against you, and more importantly, that could start to have a lot of opinionated ways to do centralized technology, as we've been seeing right now with stable coins, a lot of different things that are not very good for essentially decentralization. Still a lot to do there. On the earn, this is like the chapter 2, and there's more and more cool ways that I'm hearing how the CHSB could really take a really important place there. Some that we already talked about, like how you could be payout in CHSB, but as well other ways actually to get rewarded in a very different way I just heard recently, which would be very, 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 very encouraging for the CHSB token. Then it's all about thematics, which is the layer 4. And we could talk maybe the next layers next time. CHSB DeFi announced in February keynote 2022. Any news and progress? Thanks for that. I'll maybe go right after to that and make a pause on this one and come back, okay? Thank you for listening. Community sentiment, as you guys know, very busy week for crypto, especially in Dubai, where many of Borgers over there. There's Anthony, Alex, some people from the DeFi team are there. The SwissBorg Venture team is there, like for example, Paolo's over there. And you know, there's more and more people going to Dubai. Dubai is being recently called one of the new places for crypto. It is a great place for it. The Burj Dubai was covered with a lot of cool Binance, and I want to thank Crypto Jazz for making this beautiful cyborg and SwissBorg on the Burj Dubai. It looks really cool. So hopefully one day that'll happen. There's SwissBorg Mania, Julianas, aka Julianas. No need to explain who this guy is. He's been a legend. But it's always good to remind the legends around us and people that are supporting us since the early days, through the big waves and the smaller waves, and always surfing, even if you know the waves are not as productive, as fun as possible. Thank you so much, Julianas, for the kind person that you are, the person that gives a very objective view about SwissBorg and all the Francophonie has been really carefully following his amazing videos. I really encourage other people to do the same, maybe in Spanish, maybe in Italian or in German. German actually would be probably the best fit. But thank you so much for this. Talking about people we appreciate. Last week was a bit crazy. Alex obviously with CZ. There was many talks that went between them. Strong respect, obviously, for CZ. Is this gonna push the CHSB to be listed on Binance? That's what you're all wondering. I'm wondering the same question too. The hope will happen. Anyways, what I do believe is that when you really work hard at one thing, eventually it will always happen. If not in the news, I really wanted to check out the videos of the non-fungible show. It was with Louis recently, founder of SwissBorg, the sold out, mint out product that has done extremely well and is still doing well in terms of price movement and volume on different NFT platforms, which is great. Want to talk about hedge farm. I know you guys have probably been seeing our tweets and what is hedge farm. I'm not going to unveil the whole thing here because it's not me to do so. We're going to get more and more ways to talk about what's hedge farm, and that goes back to the question earlier: where is the CHSB going to take place in DeFi? This might be one of the great projects that it's done. As what hedge farm is the best way to get exposure to DeFi within non-custodial wallets in the most secure and the most optimal way. But it goes very well in pair with what we're doing on Earn. I invite you to check out the Twitter page to follow and see what's going to be happening in the next months. If not, another great video which was done last Sunday with Anthony is market cycle versus human psychology, and I think so. This is probably the hardest thing that people tend to grasp. For you guys listening that went through 2017, 2018, it's much easier to now to go through this run. And probably you guys listening, most of you guys have already went through that. So it's easy to say like, oh, love you, hate you, and you're still loving the hates because you know that the love will eventually come back. And I think so this has a lot to do of how to be wealthy and how to build I think so your essentially identity, the financial identity, because the hardest thing about investing is psychology. All the rest usually it's not that difficult. It's hard to find maybe the best gems, but usually it's how to invest in those best gems that really make you the Warren Buffett or they're nothing Buffett. Besides that, in the news, I was very excited to be in RTS. RTS is the main radio and TV, essentially, in Switzerland, which is really good. I was there early morning. Obviously, I look very tired, but it was really cool experience to get to, be invited in the shows that really bring mass adoption and relative credibility within the Swiss market, especially in the Romandie because it's in French. Was as well coded right after in the AGFI, which we talked about the spirituality again, a little bit of crypto and how things are unveiling. I was at the forum as well, which is one of these really cool events in Lausanne, which talks about the future of how do we all work together and how the SwissBorg has a big play within the movement. Events updates. So what's happening? Actually, I am about to take my car and go to Liechtenstein, and that is to be really excited about seeing people in Vaduz talk about essentially why Web3 matters. Very excited about that, and it's gonna be early in the morning tomorrow, which is really cool. Besides that, there's obviously Smart Cafe in English. It's gonna be Thematics edition. This time it's going to be doing with Benji, and especially Patrick, which is going to be really cool. Talk about all the thematics and why we're doing this. Tomorrow as well, actually, Justine will be with Asher, Lowen, and UNICEF guys as well, and FT Factory on this really cool essentially panel and talk about where institutions are ready for crypto. There's going to be meet the team on the 29th in Lausanne, so some people could be invited the Lausanne office, you're more than welcome. There's going to be a French meetup as well that's going to happen in Le Valais, which that is going to be extremely, really interesting to see in Zurich as well. So a lot of things happening on October 1st. A lot of things happening as we know that it's getting busier and busier, and people want to talk about essentially crypto and SwissBorg. Big announcement of the week. It is ADA has finally listed. Cardano is one of the big plays. As you guys know, Charles Hoskinson, the founder of Ethereum, got to create this new blockchain, which is a proof of stake. It's been initiated in 2017. 5 years later, they're still working on the essentially the mainnet and be able to bring more dApps into their ecosystem. This is one of the big play in crypto. It's been in the top 10 for now a few years, I believe. So you've been voting for it. I think so. The future of this will then be offering staking, a lot of different cool things. Is Cardano going to be the best new blockchain? Hard to say, but we do know as going to have obviously has a very strong community. I'm sure you guys already have some ADA on different platforms. So I think so. It's a good thing for SwissBorg. Reading on other announcements, I heard that there's going to be a new yield as well that's going to happen. I think so. It's going to be on a very cool metaverse project that you probably could recognize which one it is. So a lot of things cooking right now. And talking about that, I think so. Thematics, this is probably one of the big milestones of SwissBorg of this year. There's being tested internally right now, which is really, really cool. And I would say the 7 or 8 different reasons, that this is so important is that in average, everyone knows what's the future. But you never know which are going to be the players that are going to win this battle, right? It is what it is. It's always hard to predict who are going to be the winners. And it's fun to try to guess who's been the winners, but it really sucks to know what's the future and pick the wrong horses. And that happens all the time. You know, that's the good and the bad things about, investing. There's that lucky factor that no one could determine. Obviously, working with platforms such as SwissBorg, trying to bring the most credible ones, but even, ourselves and our team or whatsoever could always make some good bets and some wrong bets. So here, what the great thing is just you invest with conviction. Think a theme that you want to play. Then the great thing is that we choose essentially what will be in those baskets and make sure that those baskets just really represent the best players, the best contenders to be successful in next year's regarding that theme, which today is Web3, right? It saves you time. It enables you to do less research. It reallocates, so it's better for risk. The rebalancing is very well done. Pros have been building their portfolios like this since they have investment. So this is really right. And going forward, we'll like to bring rewards. And what I really like the most is rather you are a sophisticated investor or a beginner, this is the perfect thing. Very sophisticated investors go with ETFs, and very, retail, passive or active people could as well go into ETFs. This is very much the same mechanism. The big difference again is that you are masters of your tokens, therefore master of your keys, therefore master of your futures. So this is going to be happening. Can't say how soon, but quite soonish. And I'm very excited to see how this is going to unfold and change the whole game that we've been working so hard at. So this is a little update of what's happening with the SwissBorg Smart Yield. We've seen that recently, the last 2 weeks, there's some more momentum coming. So essentially, there has been 4,000 new yielders, which is really great, which brings us to 70,000 total in the yield, almost 45,000 people. The subscriptions are always higher than actually the non-subscriptions. 1,000 new people that weren't on the app yet. So you see a lot of people going from buying crypto to essentially yielding, which is really, really great. And it shows a little bit furthermore that the retention is very high. Obviously now in terms of IUM and all of that, things are not as big. We're only at 700 million. We used to be at all peak at time at 2 billion. A lot of that is coming from the market actually losing, obviously. but we see the retention, the yield is superbly done. It's really, really, really great, and that people are quite active. Where you see the retention for those who are active, that means that our premiums, it's almost 100%. It's a little bit over 90% there, which is really great. For those that are not as say active, so don't trade as often, or that are not premium, the rate is still 77%. It really shows that people have a very strong trust within SwissBorg, especially after the catastrophe of what happened from the UST to the 3 Arrow Capital to the whole big mess of Q2. We see that our wonderful community members such as yourself are very much loyal, and that's the beauty, I think, so we've built at SwissBorg. CHSB and Data, unfortunately not a great week, not a bad week, but nothing too great to talk about. A little minus on the premium side, so we were more at a 340. Now we lost, we're at only 280, only new premium, which is still good, but we like to get to at least that 350, 400 has been our average since, let's say, the last year or so. Which brings us to the community asks, so cast your vote. What do you think is going to be? Is going to be, are we going to the moon, or are we going to hell? Unfortunately, not such a great one. 5.4. Essentially, marketing not doing well at all compared to last week. Invitations as well going lower. CHSB slightly negative, and the rest is actually doing quite good. Another week, another lot of core development within the network. A lot of love from the community itself. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the good answers. And what I would like to hear from what we talked about is, from your end, how can we still make the CHSB more active? Like, even in these current moments where the activity is a little bit less, how can we bring more utilities to the SwissBorg token? I'd love to hear comments here in the comment section, of course, on Twitter at any time. But I think this is always a good time to remind ourselves is, how do we make this beautiful baby here, and there, sorry, shoot, there, where, there you go. It's always hard when you're a bit dyslexic to find these things. But how do we make it really the heart of our ecosystem? There's been a lot of advancements from our side, and talking about those 7 layers, I'm so happy that the third layer of Earn is really changing the game. Some people have been very impressed, some people haven't yet. Obviously, there's been some accumulation of some good AUM recently. That is really good. We haven't had essentially, we had, I think, so 8 to 10 million that has been brought to the platform in the last week or so, which is great. The idea here is then to offer more and more different great ways to earn, and I think so that's why some are a little bit not disappointed, but they're feeling like, okay, this is not so great. We're working hard on as well on discoverability as well. I think this is something that we really need to bring, and what can I say besides the future is bright. Like always, guys, be healthy, be wealthy, and love our CHSB. Take care, guys. Bye.
Through SwissBorg, all assets will have a fiat gateway. And here is the thing.
Premium features gives you 0 fee trading.
It's an amazing fiat gateway.
The DeFi path is not an easy one. You will face many challenges and risks. So you'll need the right tools. With SwissBorg Earn, ease your path to the rewards you deserve. No effort, no worries. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy earning on your crypto. SwissBorg Earn.